Well, hello there. Thank you for joining us here at Coolest Life. My name is Tony. I'm here to talk to you about an O2 sensor. Basically, I'm driving down the road and I get a engine light warning, which is also called dummy lights. And so you plug something in to figure out what it is, and we'll show you what that is, and we'll show you what an O2 sensor is, what it does, and I may even throw up a diagram. You never know. I'm actually using my penmanship, but and show you how to replace it. It's actually pretty easy. At least, hopefully. I guess if you're seeing this video, it was pretty easy and all went well. So come along with us, because you've just entered the Coolest Life DIY edition. Happened was I was driving along and my code came up, my little dummy code came up and said I had a problem with my engine. I need to go see a service tech, something like that. Well, what I did was I went ahead and plugged in my little machine here. Let me show you the machine right now. So that's my little machine inside my Jetta. Yeah, I got one of those, my favorite screwdriver. And it threw up a code which showed this. You see what it says? Install oxygen sensor, heater, control circuit, bank 1, sensor 2. Well, that's telling us it's an O2 sensor, and you can look it up online. It gives you a little more detail about what that code is and exactly what it is. And this one here, this particular code tells me, and it says sensor 2, shows me it's the one after my my catalytic converter. So it's my O2 sensor coming out of the back of my catalytic converter. Let's take a look at that. So let's jack it up and block it up and make sure you're safe, and then you want to get underneath there. You probably need a couple things. One, you need the new sensor. You need some tools. I'm going to show you here in just a second. And sometimes you're going to need some liquid wrench type stuff. Now I use PB Blaster penetrating catalyst since 1957. That's right, that's what I use. I guess you could probably go down in the description and find that stuff. But anyway, the point is I need to remove the O2 sensor, which is there's my catalytic converter. You see this wire here? That wire there is actually going to my O2 sensor 1, which is upstream, which is toward my engine. And so I need to replace number 2, which is downstream, which goes into that hole there. You see it right there in the center? Yeah, this one. Not that one. This one right there. So it goes in there. I have actually already taken it out. And boy, was it a pain in the butt. I ended up having to buy a special tool because it looks like this. It's kind of like a spark plug is what it does, with wires coming out of it. And that's going to go up under here, which now I have to take this nut out and take that one in the inside of there out, and maybe remove this piece of plastic here, which is really going to be a pain in the butt. I was not looking forward to this, but hopefully this wire here is only running to about right in here, and I can disconnect the other end of it, and it's just a connector. But that thing would not come out to save my life, so I had to get a special tool. You can get on there with a wrench. The problem with a wrench is it will only grab two sides. It's going to grab this side and the other side. And what can happen is, you see what happened to those corners there? Yeah, I rubbed some corners off. So I said, you know what? Before I make this thing completely cylindrical where it looks like this instead of squared off like this, let me get me a tool. And I got a tool for it, which they sell online. I think it would cost me like $6 through eBay. It looks like one of these. Yeah. So basically, it's got that hole there cut so you can go over top of this wire, and then you slide it down like that. Actually, I got it on backwards. Let's try this again. You put it on there like this, and then you slide it down, and it fits right over top of that, just like that. And then you torque on this. To see what that does is that gives you connections on more than just two spots. It's basically more like a socket. So that's what I did there. I really cranked on it, and boy, does it look dirty. I mean, look at that thing. It's hideous. Oh my God, it's so hairy. Anyway, it's hideous. And so I'm going to replace this as long as I can get this other piece there off, and I may tighten it down with that piece also, but we'll see about that. But I got to get these off of there and take a look at this. Take a look at the other end of this wire and see what it looks like. Well, I tried to do it the easy way. Well, sort of. I actually had to take all of these off. All these things, there's 4 of them that connect this, which is basically a protective cover plate. It kind of protects all these little hoses that are going all over the place. So now I got to get at this and get this here disconnected. So let me do that. So you gotta get that out of there. And what is that? That's this thing. It actually sets up inside of this thing's here. So you can kind of bend it down like that and it'll slide right out. So now I got this, I gotta disconnect this and put the new one back in. The new one is gonna be right here. Y'all see all that? So I'm gonna disconnect this and then I'm gonna reinstall everything. Well, that thing slipped out pretty easy. Actually, it was a pain in the butt. I'm telling you, this little thing here, this little clip here, didn't want to move, and it didn't want to come out, didn't want to slide. But anyway, I got it. I put some pressure on that and upward position, and then I tugged on it, and it popped right out. So this is my old piece, and it is going in the garbage. And you can see how dirty that thing is. Boy, it's just kind of hard to see. You can see how dirty that is. You can see why it might have been giving me some problems, huh? So I'm gonna put this new one in there, which has got a nice protective cap. It should look like this. Big difference, huh? Yeah. So let me put that one back in. I'm gonna screw this in first on the side of this piece here, and then I'm gonna connect this. You always connect that second in here. I'll show. Where are we? Oh, there I am. So here we go. So here's my new piece. I'm gonna put that right back in this hole. Let's just use this camera, and this is the piece I'm going to turn. The reason you turn this one here first is because it's going to turn this entire wire, and you don't want to cause any tension between this wire and the end. So you do this first and get that all the way in, and then we will connect this. If you were to connect this first and then turn that wire, it's going to bind this wire up, and you know how many times it's going to go around. So it's better to do this part first. All right, I got that screwed in there, and those are built with most have compression rings, and even this old one here had compression rings. You can't see that. It has, he's right here. There's two compression rings that go on, well, at least two, maybe one. But anyway, compression rings. Those are built to compress, to give you an O-ring fitting, is what they do. So you don't have to put an extra ring or nothing like that on this part here. So I'm gonna get it down snug as I can get it, especially with my little tool. I'm going to do my best not to break anything, and then I'm going to plug this thing back in to this hanging wire I got here, and I'm going to put that wire back up inside of here. Well, golly, look at there, it just went in there. So those two pieces went together, and then it slid back down in that groove with some encouragement. And then of course you always got to clip that back together. Now the next thing I'm going to do is get my my big plastic piece here lined up, which is sitting right there. I'm gonna get it lined back up onto these screws. Not looking forward to that because I got 8 of them. I got another one here, got another one here. Got to line those back up and put those back in there. A couple of them fell out. A couple of these fell down after I screwed them out of here. Right there, they fell off, but others are actually lodged in the bottom of the this thing. So I should turn it back on and not get any errors. Well, looky there, all back together. Nice. Now you just jack this thing down and get the car running and see what codes come up. Good news, my check engine light is off. You see that? It's not on. Normally it would be right in there, so it's not on. So that's the good news. I'm gonna go ahead and run diagnostics anyway, and we're gonna see how it is. I'm just gonna drive my car just a little bit down the road here. This is the RV park we're staying at. Ooh, look, cabins. RV park we're staying at, so speed limit's like 9.5, and most of these are empty today. So here's the code as it reads here, but you know, we'll get that taken care of, and all should be looking good. Well, I'm glad I got that done. It's my sensor went off, and I had a problem with it maybe 3 weeks ago, and by the time I ordered a piece, and I ordered one of these and got it in, and then I couldn't get it out. I had to take and buy that new little tool that I was telling you about. Let me find it. Oh, there it is. I had to buy this little tool here. If I can get it off my screwdriver. My let go. Let go. Let go. Let's try this again. Okay, here we go. So after I bought this, made it a whole lot easier. This was pretty cheap, and so was my O2 sensor. So what I might do, since my O2 sensors are the same size, I may get one. You have 2 O2 sensors. One is before your catalytic converter, one's after catalytic converter. The one that typically goes bad is the one that's after. However, my car's got 160,000 miles on. I think I just may go ahead and order the other one and go ahead and replace it one day when I've got some downtime. Looking for a project to do. There's always projects when you're living in an RV like we are, but I'll check the scans again. I just checked my lights aren't coming on again, so that's great. A couple things that it does, it's not just nice to have. You can't just disconnect them and expect your car to run right. It is actually going to save me some gas. How does it do that? Well, those sensors measure how much gas and air mixture is coming through your system, and it should be right. Well, if your sensors go bad, because as you can see that particular sensor got clogged, it can hurt your gas mileage. So I'm hoping to get my gas mileage back up to 40 miles to the gallon. Yeah, I said that right. That little Jetta of mine, it's a hybrid. I get about 40 miles to the gallon. Love it. I'm actually getting about 37 now, so I'm hoping to get it back up to 40 with this new addition of my sensor, and I want to replace that other sensor too. I may do another video on that, doubtful, because it's basically the exact same process. If this video helped you, be sure to send it to your friends. Check out some of our other videos about travel and other DIY things we got going on. But let me let you go, because I need to get back. That's supposed to go in my blooper reel, but I have no blooper reel. I do all these straight. I have to get back out here living the coolest life, DIY edition.